What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. So, as you've seen by the title, Anthony, the booty buster, Joshua, has absolutely lost the plot with Tyson Feary. And him and Feary have been going back and forth. Well, tell a lie, I'm lying to you, man. They haven't been going back and forth. AJ has been getting off all over Feary. Feary has been pictured on his knees, and AJ just stays there, ready to go all over his clout right now. That's what's been going on. For me to sit here and tell you that it's a back and forth, I'll be lying. Fury has been on the full defensive. AJ has just been busting all over my star. Yeah, no doubt, 100%. Fury looking sad. Naturally, I'm gonna give you, man. I'm gonna give it away, but I'm gonna give you, man. I'm gonna give it away how it ended. It ended. Fury went missing. Fury's been missing. Yeah, Theory didn't want no more smoke from AJ. People say, Tyson Fury, he's the best, he loves to be social media, everyone's saying Fury's a social media king and Fury loves the banter. Fury didn't want no more banter. Fury went missing from the banter. That's what we do know as well. Not even a bit of it don't we know. AJ aired this Don all the way out. I'm not even gassing you. I'll be honest with you, man. Listen. Sometimes AJ too quiet. Sometimes the things he does say is a bit dead. On this occasion, Fury got aired all the way out. All them times, we thought, AJ's a bit quiet. Little did we know he was taking notes. He was watching the YB's videos, studying them. Yeah, downloading the information, ready for a time like this. When things got truly peak, and he exploded all over Fury's clout. Fury looking messy right now. Fury needs to clean himself up. You know what I'm saying? One of them ones. One of them bust in the face ones. So let's get to it. I did a video on the start of this one already, but I'll run through the first message that went out. AJ said to Theory, the world now sees you for the fraud you are. You've let boxing down. You lied to the fans and led them on. Use my name for clout, not to fight. Bring me any championship general who can handle their business correctly. Theory responded and said, Joshua, he said, Joshua, you're more full of shit than Eddie, spouting absolute shite. Your full team knew there was an arbitration going on. It was out of my hands. But I tell you what, if I'm a fraud, let's fight this weekend, bare knuckle champion style, bare knuckle warrior style, until one man quits. Let's put up 20 milli each. Now that's where I left it last time. I've been following these things, doing one video per topic, and that's where we've got up to so far. Let's now move on. You know what, before we move on, I want to pick up on something that Fury said there about the bare knuckle stuff until one man quits. Listen, Fury, we know what do they call it? We know what dons from your set do. This whole until one man quits, we know your man's ain't got no fight in them. Because Billy, your main number one general, where was the bare knuckle in him? Where was the until one man quits in him? We already seen how that played out. Fair enough here, 2 weeks ago, if Fury had said this, it might have carried a little bit of weight, but we've now seen how that until one man quits played out. Bare knuckle, your man didn't want it in 10-ounce gloves. Never mind bare knuckle, he got bopped once and hopped out and begged his new Fruity Tooty 2021 Instagram trainer, Ben Shilovidson, to pull him out. Yeah? That's what happened to your bare knuckle and whatever else, your bare knuckle heritage. Billy was a self-professed bare knuckle 300-year lineage champion. His dad, the dad before him, dad before that, they're all lineage of pure knuckle bare knuckle champions, you said, that never quit. Never once in 300 years have any of them quit. Lo and behold, Billy Ho puts 10-ounce gloves on, gets bopped once and hops out. So stop giving it all that bare knuckle, and never mind that. Look at your own pops, and I'll give John Theory his credit. To be fair to John Theory, it's not his fault. He's got a prehistoric Amir Khan chin. Yeah, John didn't quit, but listen, what we do know is John's chin quit on him. How about that? Yes, John didn't quit, but his chin quit. Yeah, his chin couldn't take no more. His genetic potential couldn't take it. He got chipped, and listen, next thing you know, you're big. How's a big for nothing looking ass, isn't it? Black Skeletor clipped him. Next thing you know, your big dad, your main 3-year general, your lineal. That's why Fury talks so much about lineal. You know, he talks about lineal. He talks about lineal because his lack of chin, his chinlessness, is lineal as well. It all comes down in the lineage. Guess what? Tyson Feary, his dad before him was chinless. His dad before him was chinless. That's what you call there. That there is a lineage of chinlessness. Yeah, chinlessness and powerlessness. Both of them dons. Fury and his pops. Look at Black Skeletor looking ass. Clipped him. He was falling backwards. Barely touched him. And your main man, John Fury, he was out sparko. Looking at his toes curling. Yeah? His neck was clenched. Busting, guffing all over himself he was. He was like, oh, yeah, oh. That's what he was like. Anyway, let's get to it. Now we've brushed up on that bare knuckle business. That stuff for me. Again, you man know, I used to be a Theory fan 8 years ago. I was when Theory was bullying David Big Toe, David Hay, I was rock hard over Theory, 100%. And back in 2013, I'd have told you that, yeah, these bare knuckle dons, they're serious. You don't want to mess with a bare knuckle cat. But now, 2021, especially after last weekend, bare knuckle's done with. Bare knuckle's a myth. Bare knuckle are good in pack of about 30 man deep. One-on-one, as we saw, one-on-one, bare knuckle don't work. Because if it did, your man Billy wouldn't have been bopped once and hopped out. No doubt. If he had any bare knuckle heart in him, he'd have fought on. Instead, he got bopped and hopped. So, anyway, AJ then responds to the claims from Theory. He says the following. If there was an arbitration going on, why did you announce to the world that we are fighting? The fight was signed, undisputed. You're wrong. In fact, let me finish it off. Bare knuckle, you're a good kid. Don't play with me, Luke. I'll slap your bald head, and you'll do nothing. Wow. Waste man. Now, before we get to the last part, before we talk about him getting bopped on his head, if there was an arbitration going on, why? Yeah, and this is the thing. People make me laugh, you know. Theory makes me laugh. Blaming everyone else. Yeah? What we do know is, Fury, that's your case, which means it's your responsibility. Why is it on and this is the problem you see as well. When, again, we're in 2021. It's that whole age of no one takes no responsibility, but better yet, everyone wants something for nothing. Everyone wants everything to be done for them. Yeah? No one gets up and does it themselves. So, Eddie was already trying to sort the fight out for 6 months, doing all of the legwork himself. But guess what? Fury and his team sat around doing literally nothing. So much so that they also expected Eddie Hearn to handle his arbitration case. And not only handle it, but also make it publicly aware that it's going on, kind of thing. Does that make sense? Fury, your team was doing nothing. So whilst they were doing nothing, why didn't they take it upon themselves to say, Eddie, I can see you're busy working doing what you're doing with the fight. So it's probably best for me to bring it to your attention, or to whoever's attention, that the arbitration case is going on, and this makes the fight less likely. Oh, no. We never heard that. I've heard Frank and Bob Arum hating on Eddie Hearn trying to make this fight for 6 months. Genuinely, never once. Show me if I'm wrong, show me it. Show me one point where Team Fury ever say, you know what guys, I want this fight, but the arbitration's looming. Show me where it is. Show me it. Fury as well. I've heard nothing out of him. Nothing out of any of them. But again, they expected Team AJ to handle their own arbitration. Clearly they did. Oh well, how can you blame me for the arbitration? You knew as well. What do you mean you knew as well? It's your case. It's not AJ's case. It's not AJ's responsibility. It's not AJ's responsibility to know the ins and outs of your arbitration case. You could have made it clear, AJ, I want to fight you, but I can't until we know about the arbitration. Where was that message? Simple message. That one, them few simple words, any point in the last 6 months, all of us would have got the message. You didn't do that. Genuinely, never once has anyone from Team Fury said, arbitration is a serious issue, and it's touch and go if AJ fight can happen. In fact, to the contrary. Oh well, Deontay Wilder, he'll get nothing. He'll get nothing. That's what you said. He'll get nothing. It don't matter, and there's nothing he can do, and I'm a big boss, and my lawyers, multi-million-dollar lawyers. That's what you was giving it. All of your team was rock hard, thinking you didn't have to do it. So don't mention, we all knew it. No, we didn't all knew it. None of us knew it, and even me. I'm someone who follows the ins and outs, arguably more studiously than anyone else. And I was convinced that it wasn't a problem, because that's how you man had led it on. Against the grain, against better judgment. You man was rock hard for it. But don't tell me again. Whilst Team AJ were already doing everything, you also expected them to know the ins and outs and be able to quantify and be able to read through your lies of the arbitration. Essentially, that's what Fury is saying. Oh, AJ, what do you mean? You were supposed to read through our lies. Because the lies we were telling you about it not being a problem, you were supposed to know that it was a problem. That's what he's saying, 100%. Fury says, your team knew full well there's an arbitration going on. It was out of my hands. When did you say that? When did Fury ever say it's out of my hands? There's an arbitration going on. When did they say that? Because I never heard it about his team knew full well, did they? Because even from Eddie himself, yeah. If Eddie, we can debunk this easily. If Eddie knew full well, why hadn't we heard from Eddie as well? Because throughout this 6 months, Eddie's never said, yeah, we're doing the AJ fight, but the arbitration's a big deal. No. Instead, your whole team told Eddie it's not a problem. Eddie said, at worst, we may have to pay Wilder some money. We may do. Maybe not. So that's what Eddie's position was. So Eddie didn't know it was a big deal, did he? So whatever way you look at this, it's on you, Fury. But again, Fury's known for this. He's known for never wanting to take any responsibility. He couldn't just come out and say, yeah, man, this is on me. Oh, no, it's Team AJ's fault. They knew. And even if they did know, why didn't you fight Wilder last year? Why are you trying to be scary for? Why are you trying to get out of things you're obligated to do? Like, what kind of attitude is that? Nicking belts and running off. And what you notice about Fury is he's renowned for doing things that he talks about others doing. Oh, Anthony Joshua. Oh, belt out of the bin. Oh, belt out of the bin. Oh, you took the belts out of the bin, all that kind of business. No, you took the belts out of the bin. You nicked the belts. You nicked Wilder's belts, or Nick Wilder's belt, and ran off. That's what he did. I know there's Fury fans out there who are mad right now. You man are sick like a dog. But it's the truth. Fury nicked Wilder's belt and has ran off ever since. That's the bottom line. And the fact the judge had to literally tell that to him. The judge said, Fury, you've nicked the belt. And you've run off. I'm going to fix that for you. Boom. You must fight him by September 15th. Because guess what? If Fury didn't nick the belt, he wouldn't have had a ruling against him. The judge would have said, Wilder has no case, you haven't nicked the belt, no fight. He said the opposite. You nicked the belt, you must fight him, you belt nicker. Yeah? So, there we are. Now moving on to the last part of this thing. This was obviously where AJ smoked him up. Bare knuckle. This is the thing with Fury as well. He's a middle class Don. People don't realise this. And to be fair, I know a few travelling Dons, yeah? And they tell me, YB, Fury ain't serious. He don't represent us. He ain't a serious one. He's not a real one. Fury's known as the middle class ones who grew up in a house and whatnot. He ain't one of them real ones. Yeah? He ain't. He grew up in a nice big 6-bedroom house, and you know what I mean? He weren't living from the real kind of settings there. He weren't living on a site. He was living in a nice little house, and simple as that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, you, Fury, was a middle class one, and you've used that to leverage your brand. In a way, same as McTapper. McTapper likes to make out he's an Irish kind of, I'm from the gutter in Cromlin. No, you weren't. You was middle class. Look at McGregor's parents' house. Even before he was rich, they was living in a nice, probably 350 grand house. Definitely middle class. Oh, we were from the gutter in Cromlin and we was having to fight for our lunch at school. Come on. Come on, get serious now. 2-parent household in a nice gaff in wherever you was. In Ireland. You weren't having to fight for your lunch at school. What's wrong with these people and their stories they make up? McGregor and Feary are 1 for 1. Both of you dons are middle class dons. Nothing wrong with that. Many people are. But that's who you are. Yeah? And what makes me laugh the most, yeah, is that, oh, well, AJ's got a criminal record, to be fair to him. Rightly or wrongly. Even if it was only the green, either way. AJ is certified. He got a record to prove it. So, you, on the other hand, middle class don. Yeah? You ain't real. And like I said before, I spoke to people within his community and they told me, Feary can't come around here. He's not welcome around here. He's a fake. He ain't real. Just too much talking, is what they say. Yeah? No doubt. Anyway. And this is the thing, the whole bare knuckle thing. If you ask John Feary is the one who started this. And people don't understand. And me, myself, I was sucked into it as well at one point. I thought they was rock hard, the Furies were. John Feary has never had a bare knuckle fight in his life. John Feary tried to make everyone believe he was undefeated. John Feary has been knocked spark out. John Feary's career ended having to be peeled off the canvas twice consecutively. Literally peeled. He was air sealed to the canvas. That's how the ops left him. The ops left John Feary. The ops left John Feary air sealed to the canvas. They had to peel him off carefully. Because you know when someone's air sealed, when someone's air sealed, yeah, you have to peel it off, otherwise it rips. Trust me. The paramedics were carefully picking Feary up, making sure not to jangle any more of his brain juices, given how fragile they were. Because we know that the brain's susceptibility after you've been rocked, your brain becomes very vulnerable and sensitive. John Feary, listen, they peeled him up very carefully to make sure not to jangle any more of his brain juices. His Clark was already cooked. Yeah, so let's not make out. Oh, John Feary's never had a bare knuckle. Where is his bare knuckle coming from? You're not bare knuckle. You're middle class, Feary. You've never had a bare knuckle. What's wrong with you? It's really weird. I don't know. It's almost like a. I'm trying to think. It's almost like a. Yeah, it's almost like a Jamaican person trying to make out they're a yardie all the time. I've just never seen anything like it. That's what it's like. It's like being a middle-class Jamaican and trying to make out you're a yardie 24/7. It's cringy. I don't care what no one says. That would be cringy. It really would. In fact, that's a perfect analogy, yeah? If you've got Jamaican heritage and you go around trying to be a yardie, that's the equivalent. Feary, you're a middle-class British don from Manchester. You're not bare knuckle. What's wrong with you? What's that? When someone tries to adopt another... Feary, you're closer to being the royal family than you are bare knuckle. That's the truth of it. In terms of... You've assimilated this whole other culture which you're not from. You're from a middle-class British culture. You're closer... I'll say it again. You're closer to the royal family than you are bare knuckle family. That's the truth of it. Now, John Feary, you can go on TV, you can go on Insta, you can go on wherever you want and give it a... But the bottom line is, when my dog, Mickey Theo, stuck it all over you, your backside fell out. And that really is the proof, again. Anyone doubting what I'm saying, oh, YB, John Feary's serious, and what are you talking about? Feary isn't middle class, and... If Feary wasn't middle class, if John Feary was what he said he was, why has Mickey Theo got him hiding? John Feary's in hiding right now. Can't no one find him? He's missing. Mickey Theo has ran him off the internet. Mickey Theo has ran John Feary out of town. Can't no one find John Feary? Yeah? It's a sad day. The Furies have just been exposed. Listen, half the world is middle class, as such. You're just a middle class don. Simple as that. Nothing wrong with it. Like I said, most people are, but that's just you. You're not bare knuckle. Just like I'm not a yardie. Yeah? I don't get what's difficult to understand about that. You are not bare knuckle. And AJ knows it. And AJ told you as much. Listen, Feary, I'll slap you on your head. No, listen, I'll slap you on your head and put you on your way. That's what AJ would do to him. Slap him right on his bold barnet and tell him, go on your way. On your way, Luke. And Feary would sit there with his head down looking at the floor and walk on. That's exactly how it would play out. Because AJ told him as much. I'll slap you on your head, have you on your way, and you'll do nothing. No doubt. That you best believe that's exactly how it would play out as well. No doubt.